So another question from Nick Ewenson. The PRO has determined that there is only enough time for one round of tie-breaking. Well, if I understand your question, I think the answer is that after this round of tie-breaking, they will have gone head-to-head more than once, and that will then break the tie on who beat who more. So looking really light here for the start. There was good breeze about a minute ago, and now it looks like they're in their final approach to the line. Things are really light. Boston College down at the pin, and looks like Navy has somebody late at the boat. We'll see if there's enough room for them to squeeze in. And looks like some people are going to be pretty late to this start. And there was the start. Nice job down at the pin by Boston College. However, one of their teammates kind of floundering back there behind everybody. And now boat from the boat end of the line for Navy rolling over everybody. And if that right trend continues, I'd say that Navy's off to a brilliant start here. I think either way, we're looking at a 5-6 for BC coming off the line, and they certainly don't have the 1 at this point. So good start there by Navy, but conditions deteriorating rapidly, it seems.
Yeah, it does look light there. The whole thing's become pretty patchy. If you look further out into the bay, there's a lot more wind. But nothing on the course there.
Yeah, everybody's sitting in their boats now. Just hardly moving. We're sure to see some more breeze coming down the course at some point, I would imagine. So we've just been delivered Section C for the college team racing book here from Mitch Brindley. And breaking ties, the first tiebreaker is a sail-off if conditions permit and after prescribed sailing hours if necessary of no more than a single race between each tied team based on their overall win-loss record. Races sailed from an incomplete round-robin or series where the tied teams met shall be used as sail-off races. Sail-off win-losses shall not affect a team's overall record. And the second would be the number of races won when the tied teams met. Third would be total points scored when the tied teams met. And 4 would be a future sail-off to be scheduled by the regatta chairman either at the same site or at a neutral site somewhere else. So there you go. Does that answer your question, Nick? So back to BC versus Navy. BC seems to have the 1 now. And have a threat out on the right side of the course tacking now. I believe that's Will Bailey. Alex Cook is in first for Boston College. And just creeping their way. They're just now about halfway up the beat. But it looks like breeze filled in just as we predicted.
It's got to be frustrating for these teams to kind of be looking at the rotation, counting down the number of races they have left, thinking they're done, whether they're in or they're out, and then being told they got to go back. I guess if you've been a college sailor for a while, you're kind of used to this.
Yeah, the whole thing is a mental roller coaster. You just got to keep a level head, keep the same positive attitude no matter what you're dealt.
And either way, there's lots more sailing. You can't really differentiate between the rounds, can you?
It's true. And so BC looking like definitely have the 1, definitely have a deep 6, who's not even in our picture at the moment. So Navy looks like they're aggressively now trying to pin, who I believe is Will Bailey, who now luffs. So Navy trying to go play 2. and looks like doing a pretty good job getting a good pin on, and there goes their teammate. So important to know when to release when you're Navy. You don't want to get too down speed. And there they go for the release. It looks like they've overstood the weather mark now, reaching down, but still ahead of that 6th boat. So a really nice job there by Navy converting into that play 2, getting the pin when it was needed most. And you see Alex Cook there going around Mark 1 in first for Boston College. Just thinking about surviving, getting down to Mark 3 where he can hopefully try to do some damage, get his teammates back in this thing. But a really great job there by Navy. The low boat for Navy. I believe that was Mike Grove with Jocelyn Knudsen, we decided, if my information is correct. Now let's see if they can spread it out on the downwind. But as I was saying, maybe it might have waited a little bit long there by Mike Grove to release, as you see how far back he is now and far away from his help, his teammates in the 2-3. So important to know when you're the one doing work in a 2-3-4, you're quickly becoming the 4, and it's your job to start fleet racing away.
Yeah, right here, the 4 really becomes the target here, high-low being the obvious play. If they can get it. Right now the wind seems to be a bit far to the right. I don't think they're going to have an easy time rolling him, but it's sure to shift back.
Yep. And getting lighter and lighter in those first few boats. And I wonder, it almost looks like Navy's trying to overtake Alex Cook in the 1 here, doesn't it?
It does, at least from where we are, sailing low and fast. It's the only boat to wing, but it seems to be working for them. I think it's the only boat with a wing.
And the 4th boat for Navy doing a nice job defending that high lane. We just see them now starting to defend back, everybody jibing. Must have been a little bit of a wind shift and jibing to a wing, so hopefully a little bit more breeze as well. But it sure does look like Navy's kind of sailed themselves into the 1 here. Again, the vantage point is really difficult to tell how advanced on Alex Cook they really are. Not typically the right play when you're in play 2 to go ahead and chase the 1, and if you do, you got to be sure to go back and grab who used to be the 1 and try to get your teammate now ahead of him as well. So we'll see how Navy executes this the rest of the run.
The difficult thing about a 3-way tiebreaker is you can't race any other races while this is going on, 'cause one of these teams is going right back in and starting the next race.
Yep, so everything on hold here until these sail-offs get done. Boats are now pulled up on the beach, sails down, frisbees are being thrown, shade is being sought by all.
Well, down at the bottom, we're about to find out if Navy did, in fact, take that 1. I think they did. They look like they're setting up. Yep, trying to set up for a mark trap here and possibly turn this thing into a 1-2.
Let's see if Alex Cook can hang on here, lone wolfing it for the Eagles. Is that Mary Hall in for Navy?
Can you really tell from this distance?
I sort of can. She looks little.
Well, you can certainly understand putting in a small sailor today.
Whoever it is in the 1 there for Navy, almost getting it done, but a great job by Alex Cook hanging in there and not letting that pass back happen.
Right, so a 1-3 around the bottom mark.
5 it still looks like for Navy.
Very unstable. This is a pressure point here for this race.
And if I'm that last boat for Navy, I believe that's Mike Grove still. I'm starting to think about gapping and going play 4.
Look at that. That Navy boat going almost head to wind on this third leg, fourth leg.
To go into a 1-3-4 for Navy. So 1-3-4 for Navy. Got to get that 1-2 pass back done, though. This is just a little bit sketchy still.
They're working on it as they just scoot off the screen there.
Yep.
We'll follow them up the course. It's just pig in the middle there, the team racing drill, trying to squeeze that boat out.
And you see now a nice job by the last boat for BC getting leverage out to the left, sailing by themselves. So that pass back does happen over with Navy for the 1-2 on the right side of the course. But a nice job by BC getting some leverage left. It doesn't look great right now, but we'll see if a big lefty comes through. This boat that's over here by themselves could be ahead.
And that's really their only chance at this point. They ran out of plays there as Navy moves into the 1-2.
I think that's Raul Rios in boat, or excuse me, looking at the wrong team. Yeah, it's Mike Grove still doing a nice job in boat 10 for Navy, committing to grabbing that ace, who you now see is the furthest screen left pair right on the race course.
That boat for BC really committed to the left side of the course, the boat on the right side of the screen. They may be a factor later. Right now, they're not even in touch.
Yeah, you know, I don't know that many people coming into this event would have said that they would see a sail-off between Navy and Boston College for this spot into the gold round. Boston College sailed a great season. Navy was good, but always just a little bit off the pace. But we talk about Navy as being one of those teams that's extremely disciplined and well coached in team racing and can always get the job done by the book, but sometimes lacks the speed. But it looks like they've figured out their speed issues and gotten it going here at the Nationals.
No, I think that's a good point. But you look at the 7 teams in front of them: Yale, Brown, Stanford, Roger Williams, St. Mary's, and College of Charleston, and Georgetown. Really, no surprise that that it comes down to the 8th spot for both of these talented teams.
And getting really light.
Oh boy.
And wacky once again on the last beat.
Well, this is where the teams really need to keep their heads out of the boat, anticipate the wind, anticipate where the next play is going to be. Whatever they thought they were doing is going to change pretty quickly here. For instance, Navy. Nope, they still have it. I didn't know if BC was maybe going to get a piece of that second place boat, but doesn't look like it as they just bob up and down.
Gosh.
Those poor guys out there with the power boat wake.
And yeah, they're pretty warm out there, I would imagine, too.
Now you see on the right side of the screen, a inflatable with a whole lot of uniformed sailors. That would be the team from Hobart getting ready to immediately switch into one of these boats. They're not sailing any more boats out on the course.
And boy, are they going backwards over there on the right side of the course.
Yikes. That's another rule of thumb we talk about when boats can't make forward progress, when you can't, and the umpires can't determine whether they're on starboard or port. That's when you see races get canceled, but I can't imagine them canceling this this close to the finish line unless it was really extraordinarily light.
Oh boy.
I really think
I would call that extraordinarily light. I don't think they're going to call it, but boy, that is extraordinarily light.
Well, I think from our vantage point, it's being negatively affected by so much chop.
Yes, absolutely.
I think the sails are still full. Well, maybe not full, but half full. You can at least tell where, which side the sail is supposed to be on. They look like they're luffing, but in fact, that's just being shaken around by the wake. And there's still plenty of breeze out there. It just hasn't found the fleet yet.
And I'm thinking this
nice
far left
tack
boat
there, yep.
for BC is ahead of boat 11 for Navy.
I think so.
Some work still to be done. You see now Mike Grove is starting to creep up on the fleet. That gap has sort of created itself. The last boat for BC now seems to be going backwards a little bit, doesn't it?
It does, and you know what?
So
I
Mike
wouldn't be
Grove getting in the
surprised
mix.
if they're trying to prove that point to the umpires at this point.
Yeah.
Not really even trying to go forward.
Yeah, it is not windy. But look at Mike Grove's just been going straight this whole time, and now has found a little bit of breeze too and gotten himself involved. And I think Navy is saying thank you to him because he's done a lot of really good things in this race and now gotten himself involved. Could even be looking at almost a 1-2-3 for Navy at this point.
Yeah, it's possible. I thought for sure that that BC boat was going to be able to break up that 1-2, but not able to get back to the middle.
On the right. And now some breeze fills in, and they're off.
All right, let's follow that lead pair up to the finish line. I'm curious to know where they are in relation to the finish line. I think they're going to require another tack.
I don't know.
Well, that's the larger of the marks is the finish pin, so they're definitely going to need another tack here. But Navy's crossing 1-2 for Navy.
And Mike Grove now sails into first place for Navy, it seems.
Well, Navy's got to be feeling really good about this win here. They've beaten both of the teams in the prelims. So even in the case, I hate to speculate, but even in the case that this does be become a three-way tie that perpetuates, Navy will still have beaten BC twice. So they'll at least be ahead of BC.
So I believe that rules, does that then rule BC out? No, because Hobart needs to beat BC and Navy to get that spot. But I believe that Navy, or I'm sorry, I believe BC can't qualify now.
It would depend on how BC and Hobart matched up in their race, wouldn't it? In their first race. And in that race, Hobart won.
So BC cannot win.
Right?
I don't want to say that.
I know. This is very challenging stuff. Maybe somebody else can, who's listening, can help us with this speculation.
I believe, though, now that since Navy has beaten Boston College twice, that there's no way that Boston College can beat Navy overall.
Right.
So therefore, it'll either be Navy or Hobart that gets the last spot.
Right.
According to my logic, which could be completely flawed.
Welcome back once again to the 2013 College Sailing APS Team Race National Championship presented by Laser Performance. My name is Chris Love for Chris Love Productions, and we are patiently waiting for the start of the sail-off between Hobart William Smith and Navy to determine who is going to enter the championship round in 8th place and who is going to be done at Nationals for 2013. Looks like the race committee has set up the course for the new wind direction. Remember, they already tried this once, but with a huge wind shift right before the start. They didn't think it was fair. They barely had to tack to get around the windward marks. And now, plenty of breeze on the course. The wind direction pretty square to the starting line. And these two teams are in sequence. Get the lower thirds graphic. This is Hobart in yellow and Navy in black. And from what we understand, this may be a do-or-die tiebreaker. We were trying to figure this out earlier, if we'd have to even have a race between BC and Hobart. We realized that there's really no incentive for BC. They cannot move on. They've already lost to these teams. So we're pretty sure this is it. And again, we can't hear the horns from the race committee boat by the way these boats are posturing. It looks like they are in sequence and are getting ready to start this race. We apologize for the live stream cutting out in the middle of that promo piece for Laser Performance. Seems like whenever we play back pre-recorded material, we have trouble. So we'll try to fix that for you for the future. And we can also post these videos on our live stream page. Look for that stuff later today or possibly this evening. We also wish we had a live camera for the moments that just happened during that break as we tried to throw water bottles up to our... Okay, I shouldn't say we. I tried to throw...
Say we. I have nothing to do with this, Chris. You absolutely were flailing right there, and if there was no entertainment to be seen on the water, certainly the teams here got some pleasure out of watching you attempt to basket toss a water bottle up the cherry picker, which you could have just lowered. You realize?
Yeah, we do realize that.
That thing has a motor, and it goes up, and it also goes down.
It's loud, though. It beeps.
It's loud and it beeps, but it was already loud.
That's true.
And you would have saved yourself some humiliation.
I'm glad no one, to my knowledge, took a picture.
Everyone took pictures. I took pictures.
No, the best moment was when it fell and I caught it, but the top came off and spilled
Shattered
water
everywhere.
all over our director, Reed Sisson.
Pure athleticism, this one.
Throwing water bottles is not my forte. Well, I thought they were in sequence, but clearly that's not what's happening.
It's not what's happening, is it? So you're telling me that we are in a delay?
I'm telling you that we have no communication with the start boat. And it certainly looks like they're ready to go, doesn't it? The course is set. It looks like they're maybe setting the finish boat. Could that be what's holding this up?
Could be.
But the teams are ready. The wind is there. The starting line is square. Sun's starting to move behind the tent. So we'll have to get up some curtains for this afternoon. Teams already making adjustments to their setups. Some teams leaving. Some teams just preemptively moving their camp away from what will become a very smelly beach at low tide.
And I don't know that we have this word officially, but it seems unlikely that we're going to get that consolation round in at all. It's 3 o'clock here, and we haven't even finished this tie-breaking series yet. So I'm thinking once they do this, they're going to try and just finish the gold round of 8 today and probably tomorrow morning, and then go into a Final Four would be my prediction.
Yep. It does seem a shame that we have to sit and wait for all this, but it actually kind of makes sense that we're doing it this way. Only 2 teams sitting out there bobbing around instead of what could be 8 teams sitting around bobbing around.
This is true. Hi, Coach Ward. You got anything to say?
You want to stick a mic in his face?
Yeah.
We have that. We have that capability.
Yeah. Sit on that. No. Yeah, we're still waiting. I've heard that you had some pretty good commentary. I was just talking to Mac Mace. He said that you had some pretty wise words of wisdom to say. And you want to share any of those? Why don't you scoot over? We'll get you on the big screen. Oh, there you are. You're sort of there. Drop some knowledge on us.
I really don't know what you're talking about, honestly.
How many boxes of Altoids have we gone through today?
Just half of one since I've been here over the last 2 days. Only brought 2 boxes, but I'll send Greg out for more if I need them.
Do you have like some sort of Altoid nicotine patch that you've been wearing? Because those numbers are way down from where they were in the past.
No. Just trying to, keep it real. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to see you're smiling. You guys got smoked in a race out there. I saw a couple penalty turns and not so much.
Yeah, I remember you getting smoked in a race last year too. So you just got to keep it positive, and hopefully we'll rally back. So.
Yeah, we got smoked a few times last year. It's all for the best.
Things happen. It's challenging out there. You just got to be patient and keep fighting hard. We're not exactly where we want to be, but we had more win than get more racing in, and then I like our chances.
I'm told we might be getting breeze like later, like 5 or 6 p.m. You think they'll send it that long? Are the Cougars ready to put in a marathon day today?
Yeah, I think so, for sure. I think Allison will wait as long as she has to, and we got back to the room a little before 8 o'clock last night, and we're prepared to do that again, no problem, for sure. Had to make make Mac eat some food though, because he didn't eat enough food yesterday. And then they went out to this Greek restaurant. I didn't get to witness it, but apparently he ate a small lamb.
He's been known to do that. He has eating capabilities, the likes of which most college sailors could never imagine.
This race is starting out here in the Navy. It's hard to see though. The fishermen.
Yeah, we have some good camera. Oh, look, it's all happening. You want to announce this race? You can put on a headset and you can just do it.
I'll sit
You just want to watch?
Well, whatever you want.
Should I throw the headphone back on then, Chris, or what do you want me to do?
You can keep talking on that.
Okay. This is better.
Well, there we go. Why don't you?
So what is it?
Kick us off here. We got this
Navy's in
tiebreaker
blast.
off.
Navy,
the go.
navy in black. I can't see the other boats.
Mary Hall's pretty quick, huh?
She is in, isn't she?
Yeah, she was in. She was the one that took the one in the last race.
Yeah, I thought it was her. I
And
told
didn't know
you,
what
Chris.
to do with it.
And he was saying I couldn't see that from that
Looks
far.
like
I know
they-
what she looks like.
Looks like they might have the 1-2-5 here again, huh?
Yeah. Although the depth perception is pretty difficult.
Is it? That boat's crossing. Yep. Now this boat, though, on the other hand, not crossing. And face them.
Housetown. But yeah, it certainly does look better for
So they
Navy
got the
at this
one,
point.
but they don't have the 6, right? So they just got to race fast, not try to do too much right now, huh?
Coach Ward, Navy's been pretty impressive today, actually beating both of these teams in the opening round and then taking it to BC and then winning the start of this race when the last time they tried it. What have you seen from Navy? Do you think they're performing above or just to what you imagine they would be capable of?
Yeah, I think they're going to have a tough time against like the top 4 or 5 teams here, but I think with the 5 through 10 teams, they're really competitive. They're pretty even across the board, They don't have any of the super weak players, and they're all pretty speedy. And they start pretty well, I think. So they've definitely blown us out in a couple of starts this year. So.
Well, this is a tough perspective. Everybody coming toward us, but you can see from left to right, we got a yellow Hobart boat, 2 Navy boats, and more Hobart.
In some order.
We really need someone to tack to get a good perspective on this.
Stop. This is not right.
It's right. It's all right.
It's okay. Live.
Some clowns coming into this tent.
That's what I was showing you. It's crazy.
This is what happens when you invite Zeke to come and commentate on your show. He brings the whole
And all
Cougar
these
clan.
Cougar clowns
Sorry, I got friends, man.
in low places.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh boy,
It's better
look
than
at
friends
that!
in no places.
Look at that Hobart boat on the right of the screen.
Is that the 5 boat? Because the 5 boat's, I think something's wrong with the 5 boat.
Oh, we heard that earlier. There's some speculation that yellow boat number 5 is a little bit off the pace.
Little
We're
octopus
blaming
on
that.
the
We're
bottom.
blaming that on all our losses. We never want to sail the
I
5
think that's a
again.
six.
That's
I don't know.
yeah, I think it's. It might be the 5.
It's the 5.
I
That's
think
5.
it's the 5.
Well, something's wrong with boat 5. That's not good. But
Oh, there's that
regardless,
5. I think that's 5. Maybe the last boat's 6, actually.
regardless,
Sounds
it looks pretty solid for Navy, I'd say, coming in here, coming to the weather
Yeah,
mark.
That's 5 down there. So.
5's winning this
Scratch
race.
that.
Yeah.
Scratch that.
There's nothing wrong with
Now,
5.
Mary Hall is winning this race. Don't be
Sorry,
mistaken.
winning the furthest ahead Hobart boat is what I should say.
So they got the 1-2.
And I see is he raising his hand for an umpire?
Maybe a 3 here.
I sure hope that he doesn't get flagged. That would be a really poor place to call for an umpire if he's going to potentially get flagged.
Ooh.
And a voluntary
Seems to have
spin.
worked out. Spinning
Well-
around the mark. I like that. Oh,
No.
no, just short of it.
Go Navy. Very impressive.
You said voluntary, but I see 2 turns coming.
Well, I've been wrong before.
Wow.
I didn't see a flag, but
lot of anticipation built around this tiebreaker race, and Navy's not making it too exciting for us.
No,
One,
not
two,
really.
three around Mark 2.
Good on them. They'll make it quick so we can get out
can
there
move
and
on.
start sailing the final 8. Seems like the breeze kind of comes and goes, huh?
So apparently we just got the word there will be no consolation round, so places 9 through 15 are established. 14, excuse me, there aren't 15 teams in this regatta.
Oh, no.
No, no.
16 next year, though, right?
Right.
Well,
And
that's,
then will they go
that is
back
the
to the
plan.
split fleet format? So we don't have to do this lengthy rotation?
I don't know.
I think that's still up for discussion. I think the whole system of the 16
We'll
teams is
wait
still
until 3 days before the event
Right,
again to
exactly.
decide the format.
Exactly. So to round out the bottom 6, we do have the loser of this race, whoever that might be, although it looks like Hobart
Looking
at
like
this point.
Hobart's got it pretty locked up there.
So they'll be picking up the 9 spot, BC finishing 10th. University of Hawaii finishes out 11th. They are tied with UW and Wisco, so we actually have to figure out those tiebreakers.
Oh boy.
More
tiebreakers?
Someone will figure that out. It will not involve a sail-off. And then Texas A&M Galveston finishing off winless, unfortunately, at this Nationals. But good experience
Pretty crazy that
coming out here.
2 Final Four teams from last year's are going to be sitting out and done racing in the matter of minutes here, assuming that Navy can finish off Hobart. What do you make of that, Coach?
I'm not really that surprised, honestly. The depth at this event is, I think, as great as we've ever seen it, maybe. With Stanford sailing so well all year, as well as Brown and Yale in the mix this year. It's really not that surprising, you know. A couple of teams are going to have to lose out, so whether it's St. Mary's or Hobart, the Dodge, or the 2 that ended up losing out, you know, I mean, we weren't that far from it as well, so, you know, just a couple of races.
Well, Navy putting the finishing touches on this one as they approach Mark 3. Huge separation in this fleet, probably more than we've seen in most of our races. Even when we thought the teams were mismatched, I didn't see a whole lot of.
I don't know. That
like
Georgetown-Charleston race was pretty.
Yeah, they
That was
blew us
pretty
out.
gapped out.
Yeah, I think Maclaw said we had all of our boats above the boat at about 10 seconds, and there was a big right shift, so we kind of didn't start with the rest of the fleet.
You got to do that. You got to start the race on time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's not a race. That's a good point. But in general, it's a race.
Is that the Cougar mantra? It's not a race.
That's the Cougar mantra. It's not a race.
No, it is a race until it's not a race.
It's not a race. It's not a start until it's the 3rd race, though.
Well, Zeke, you know,
Anyway.
this may be a good time for us to end a little early and go get some lunch before this championship round.
I am always hungry.
Yeah, I'll second that.
I may try and find a small lamb.
I'll
If
assure
Mac
our
makes left
viewers,
any
if
on the
Hobart
continent.
makes a miraculous comeback, we promise to come back on air and tell you about it. But it looks like Navy is going to be winning this tiebreaker and qualifying into the championship round, which we'll be bringing to you as soon as we have it. So thanks for tuning in to this presentation of the 2013 Nationals brought to you by Laser Performance. Please join us. Probably, what do you think, Ward? How long will it take before this round begins? Ward doesn't know. We're thinking we'll let you
He
know.
doesn't do well with numbers.
We'll let you know when we know.
Too fat for what?
Too fat for what? Bye-bye.
See you later.